Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lovers and haters, cheaters, non-sinners, all sinners. This is the Men Lie, Women Lie, and All Flowers Die podcast. I'm here with the lovely Miss Les. I can't go by the Brother Burns because I go by the Brother Burns on the hip hop podcast. So here I'm gonna just be Uncle Joe, and I'm here to represent the fellas. Hopefully the mature fellas, definitely the sometimes immature fellas. We're gonna learn a lot from each other, Miss Les.
It's gonna be our therapy sessions.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, we're gonna be better people.
I hope so. I look forward to this ride here. Before we get started, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, Dolly. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there tuned in. To all the moms that are no longer here with us, rest in peace. We love you. To all the moms that are here with us, we love you. Have a great day. Take care. To all the fellas, make sure y'all go see Mom Dukes. Take her some flowers. Take her out to eat. Take her,
all the bonus moms, right?
What is a bonus mom?
Stepmoms, right? The moms that,
So all the
didn't
stepmoms. I never think of stepmoms for some reason.
listen.
They exist.
Bonus
Are you a
mom.
stepmom?
I am not a stepmom, but my kids have stepmoms, so
Amen.
and they're
Shout out to
amazing.
them.
So shout out to them.
So today we want to talk motherhood. And before we talk motherhood, I have to speak to single mothers from my past that I may have mistreated and or disrespected in my immature state of being as a younger, much stupider man. So first of all, apologies to all y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all definitely probably didn't deserve it. Some of y'all might have, but not for being mothers or single mothers. Maybe for some of your other actions. I think myself at that time, I would, first I wouldn't date single moms. And then if I did date a single mom, I would almost punish her for being a single mom. I would almost blame her for being a single mom. Like I would put all the blame on her.
As to what, like why things weren't working? That would be like your go-to, or
As to why she was even a single mom.
ouch.
Yeah. I was no good. So I never took into account like.
Joe, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, so let's start on the honest foot that I'm gonna say a lot of fucked up shit because I was a super fucked up individual. So that's why I'm here, right? To learn and to
Be better.
and to be held accountable for the things I did and the things I said that probably caused a lot of pain and trauma. And like I said, some of it may have been undeserved. Some of it may have been deserved, but some of it may have been undeserved. And definitely want to say sorry, yo. Definitely gotta make amends on these things, right? So, in order to have a child in a perfect world, a man and a woman fall in love, do the do, and have a child, right? And then if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, then they are now single parents.
Correct.
So back then I would put all the blame on the woman as to why it didn't work out or whatever. Like, what kind of woman are you that a man would leave not only you, but also his child? Like, damn, you what'd you do to this poor guy, right? Not thinking this guy was probably a dick and you escaped him and you did what was better for your child to live a better life instead of having him grow up with this monster. So again, apologies to the female. So
I don't know how I would react if that was me. I think back, like,
you should react negatively.
I mean, No,
They
yeah.
should have left me immediately.
I might be in jail. Okay,
That's understandable.
Because right now I just want to punch you in the face.
That's gonna happen a lot, and I think you've told me that like 10 times,
Yeah.
and we've only hung out twice. So that goes to show where my level of respect for women was at. It was unfortunately low. You know what I'm saying? And but I was more jaded, and I didn't have a true understanding of a healthy relationship. Growing up my parents' relationship wasn't the role model that you would want to base love off. You know what I'm saying? Very, very little expression of love, very little expression of any sort of emotion, actually. They were real disconnected. Like, from when I was born till they separated when I was like 19, as a child, I remember them being okay. But even like as of like age 6, 7, I remember shit being rocky and it not being like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think now as an adult, I'm realizing, right, the relationship that my parents had
Mm-hmm.
and how we grew up, how that affects the relationships you have growing up, and
Correct.
especially as a woman, right? We tend to look for the like our dads in the guys
Yes.
that we attract, right? So if you
Right.
don't have a healthy, role model, like as far as your dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna look for those things in men, and it's unfortunate. That's how we come across all these guys that aren't good for us, you know?
Right. So to my daughter, I need you to find a dude that is more me now as opposed to me when you were born and younger when I wasn't in the proper headspace to raise a child, raise a daughter specifically, but I also wasn't in the proper headspace to love properly. I don't even think I loved myself properly, possibly till now. You know what I'm saying? I think I still struggle with self love, and that will always affect how you love others or your inability to love others. So when I was young, um, and I want to talk about two exes specifically without naming them, right? I lived with both of them and I lived with their children, but for the most part, I wasn't accepting of that dynamic. You know, um, I would attempt to, and later in the second relationship, I actually built a very strong bond with her youngest child that I got mad love for to this day. So shout out to him. But in the beginning, there was because of whatever I was dealing with internally, it would come out externally, kind of as like, I
So like with the first one, when you guys were together, would you do things with the kids? Would you
well,
or
she
were
had
you
one kid at the time, right? And they ended up moving in with me, but it was at a time that I was heavy into making music. So where I lived was actually where we would record. So we were in the process of remodeling the house, kind of building a studio in it, kind of trying to launch this record label, just getting into this is when computer technology was kind of blossoming as far as recording. Pro Tools and stuff was just kind of coming out. So getting into trying to learn that. So these are all excuses I'm making to say no to your question. The answer is no. I wasn't making an honest, fair attempt to be a part of that child's life in a positive way.
how long did that relationship last?
Maybe like 2 years, maybe like 2 or 3 years. But again, she should have left me.
I was just gonna say, so us as women, we don't know when to walk away.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
hard for
And
us
us
to
as
walk
men,
away.
when y'all try to walk away, that's when we become the better, more perfect
Correct.
man. Like, what you need? Oh, you need flowers. I'm gonna buy you a whole garden.
Correct. And
Ladies,
that's
so yeah, learn to walk away, bro.
the self worth.
When a guy shows you he's a dick, that's really him.
Yep.
So take that and be out. So I told you a story off air about my ex girlfriend, and one time she asked me if I could change anything about her, what would I change? And my immediate answer, without thinking, was that I would make her not be a mother anymore. And that was a fucked up answer. And I apologize. I apologize. Um, but it wasn't said. I think y'all are taking it super negative because y'all are mothers, right? It wasn't said. I didn't mean like, yo, I wish your kids didn't. To not mince words, I didn't say it on some shit like, yo, I wish your kids were dead. That wasn't what I meant. What I meant was, I think if you didn't have children, and because my daughter didn't live with me, it was as if I didn't have children. I think our relationship would have more potential and be at a better starting point. But it came across mad terrible. And when I think back, it's super fucked up.
How did you communicate it?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't communicate it. I just answered the question. And then she got upset. And then I got upset that she was upset because I'm like, why you upset? Don't ask stupid questions if you don't want the answer. And then it probably led to an argument, which wasn't good. Had we been more mature, the both of us, we probably could have discussed it, and I would have been able to explain to her that it's not that I don't think you're a good mom, nor is it that I don't like your kids, nor is it that I wish your kids didn't exist in a negative way. I just think as a couple, we would have had more potential and been able to do more if we were starting from this point of no children. Because we were struggling and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So kids are expensive. Number one, kids are expensive AF. And number two, they broke as hell. They be broke. They be hungry. They want to go to the movies, to the circus, to the damn Great Adventures, to the mall, and they be mad broke, just terribly broke. So it's like that girlfriend in particular had 3 children, so that's triple. You know what I'm saying? But
now I get it, right? Like now that you're explaining it,
it's not as bad, right?
It's not.
Do you still want to punch me in the face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I
we
think
gotta
that
move these chairs.
I think that what should have happened, right? And I think now as adults, you would probably handle it differently, is had that conversation up front, right?
Yes.
Like,
well,
hey, listen,
honestly, I wouldn't give that answer now.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah, I would give it. I'll be on some corn shit like,
but
nah,
I think
girl, you're perfect. I wouldn't change nothing.
It would have saved you both 2 years, right? Or
oh no,
whatever
this
amount.
relationship was on and off for like 8 years. Yeah, this was a bad one. I'm still actually reeling and healing from it.
Oh, that's the one you spoke about the other day.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's whack, right? But let's get to you, because you are a mother and you speak for the mothers. So I have questions for you regarding motherhood. You said something interesting before the show, that previously you would not date men with children.
Yes. I had my first son. I got pregnant at 19, 20 years old from my high school sweetheart. Fortunately and unfortunately, right? Mm-hmm. So fortunately, once I had my son, I was like, this is not the type of life that I want. I want better for my son. So that's the fortunately part, because I think his dad not being around was the best thing for him.
Why was his dad not around?
His dad was just hanging around with the wrong people.
So he was around in the area?
Yeah.
He just wasn't around
doing
in the life.
stupid shit, right? In and out of jail. I'm not going to put his business out there, right? But he's not a bad person. Uh-huh. He's not a bad person. I just think he's just stupid people, stupid shit, right? Stupid decisions. And so the fact that he wasn't around. So point is, so since he wasn't around, right, to answer your question, I didn't come with any baby daddy drama, right? I didn't. I didn't. If you dated me, you were dating me. You didn't have to worry about, getting a call from my baby daddy
baggage?
Or no, he was in and out of jail. He wasn't in my life whatsoever.
No. I mean, like, emotional baggage. Like, did he?
I think we all come, whether it's baby daddy or just past relationships, we all come with drama. And yes, at 20 years old, I absolutely did. I did not. I was a very scorn, bitter,
there's the baby daddy.
I was, but that's just
drama
happened,
in
that
a
just
sense,
happened
though.
to be because I had a child. Because I would have had that baggage even if I didn't have a child, and it just ended. Right. You know what I mean? So that's not specific. I'm talking about baby daddy drama. You're not gonna get a call from my baby daddy. You're not gonna see him on the street and fight. That stupid nonsense shit. And when I did date guys that had children, right, there was always some type of drama, even to this day a little bit, right?
Baby mama drama.
Yeah, and it might not necessarily be towards me, right? Because I think at this age we're grown women, right? And if you're not with them, then whatever issues you have is
you would hope,
right? So the issue is not now that they have issues with me, but you have issues with him, which then pours into what I'm trying to build with him. Right. So I didn't come with that. So I was like, I am not dating anybody that has children, right? And that's a little like, you have a kid, you know?
So that was actually the question. Do you think it was fair for you as a single mom to prejudge men and say, I'm not dating him just because he has a child? And because I believe that 99% of the time that's going to come with
No, of course
baby
it
mama
wasn't
drama.
fair. Of course it was not fair. And hence the reason why now
Oh, so we both maturing. Shout out to all the single moms.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the married moms. Shout out to all the brothers that are dating single moms and doing the right thing, taking care of the girl, the children, and any past traumas. You said you had your child at 19. I don't know where you were at 19, life-wise, maturity-wise, financially-wise, but a two-part question. What positives did having a child bring into your life? How did it change you in a positive way? And were there any negatives that came with becoming a mother? I know most moms are going to be like, no, there's nothing negative about it, but there's definitely hardships that come with it.
Absolutely. The positives, he made me who I am.
He, your son,
today.
your oldest son.
My older son.
Shout out to them.
Yep. He's going to be 19. He made me who I am today. We kind of grew up together. Right? Because I was young, you know. He made me leave, right? Someone that was no good for me, right? Because I wanted so much better. Had I not had him,
he made you leave just by existing.
Just by existing.
Okay.
Because I didn't want that. I didn't want my kids to be around that. I wanted so much better.
You didn't want him to tolerate what you had been tolerating for like 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, since I was 14.
Why did it take for a child to be born for you to realize that you were in a relationship that was not satisfying nor happy, making you happy?
Still trying to find that out. Still trying to find the answer to that.
Some questions don't have obvious answers.
Yeah. I think
But back to the positive.
Yeah. So also, right, I had no choice but to make a career. There was this little life depending on me, right? So I had to mature. I had to
and level
really
up.
Yeah. I had no choice. So he just showed me also like a love, just I don't even know if any mom can really explain the love you have. I will do anything.
I'm going to ask mad random questions, right? Is it fair for mothers to put that, I don't know if I want to call it pressure. Is it fair for women who are in need or searching for love to have a child and that be the love?
No.
Is that like pressure on the child and they don't even know it?
Yeah, and I think in certain ways, I mean, that wasn't my reasoning, so I can't speak exactly,
Right.
Around that. But I would think absolutely you're gonna put a pressure, right? When your kid decides to throw a tantrum, that's gonna make you feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
So you might react a certain type of way. So yeah, I think that's gonna affect them once they're adults.
Right. Fair. And I'm not I'm not judging women, nor am I judging mothers or women who have children that are in search of that love. I just think it's unfair to the child to not even know shit. You're a newborn, you don't know anything, and women be like, yo, that's my best friend, and he's like 3 months. Like, yo, this little thing don't do nothing but eat and shit. Like, get a real friend, shorty. Like, you need somebody you could talk to and, emote. And
I think that's women that don't realize that it starts from within. It's the self-love. If you have that self-love,
then you won't need that.
You don't need anybody.
You can get a dog and be happy.
I mean, yeah, like if you can fulfill yourself, right?
And that goes for men too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's very often overlooked and not discussed enough that men need to love themselves and be proud of themselves and their achievements and speak on their emotions, whether good or bad. You know, it's tough for dudes to be hanging out with the bros and be like, yo, I'm type sad today. You know what I'm saying? That's not a thing. So, fellas, as hard as it may be, as don't feel embarrassed. We all get sad. We all get mad, whatever. Use your friends, use your family, and get that shit out because holding it all in, um, that ain't healthy, bruh. As someone who um, grew up like that and carried it into adulthood and is just now learning to express more. That stuff, man, stress kills, bro.
And for the ladies, right? If you have a man that is trying to be vulnerable and speak about his emotions, create that safe space for him. Like, it's okay. It's
Don't
okay
go
to do
back to the
that.
group chat talking shit on homeboy that. All right, let me ask you a question, and this is veering off now. Statistics say, or I read a statistic that said, I don't remember the percentage, but it was a high percentage. Let's say 85 to 88. 85 to 88% of women, after they see their man cry, they cheat on him because they think he's weak.
That's not true. I don't think that's true. I mean, I don't know,
Are
right?
you the
If there's
12%?
I love that shit.
To a point.
I love it. Like, if we're having a conversation, you're I'm also like a Scorpio, so anything like passion, emotion, like I'm all for it, right? Like, I don't want to have small talk conversations. I want to know like the things that eat you up inside.
But you don't want
right?
them crying every day.
Not every day. I mean,
right.
you can't cry every day. Women don't even cry every day.
No, I know.
So, like, you can't cry every day.
definitely don't
but
cry
if we're
every
having
day.
a conversation, right? Do you cry?
I cry, yes. You know what? I cry at stupid things. I cried in the movie Rocky when he said that Adrian died, and he went and he revisited a bunch of places that brought him memories of Adrian, and then he was talking to Paulie, and he just was like, "Yo, I miss her. Like, life is fucked up since she died," and that shit made me cry like a motherfucker.
Now, why did you cry though? Why? Because it was just an emotional scene, or why? Because it
Both.
struck a chord somewhere.
It's not easy for a man to say, "Yo, I miss her. My life is incomplete without her." Like, and for as much as men pretend, men take breaks up. I think men take breakups sometimes harder than women.
Why do you think that?
Cause I'm a man and I done took some hard ass breakups and the girl be out chilling, clubbing, and I'm home depressed.
I mean, listen, I think that women, it takes us a lot longer to leave, right? So I think we're mentally preparing ourselves throughout. We're still with you.
Exactly.
Right?
But you're disconnected.
But we've checked out mentally.
Exactly.
So
and we're not.
That sounds like a you problem.
That's why
you guys are.
Yeah, fellas. Let's disconnect earlier, right? Let's break up with them mentally mad early and then just leave them and be happy and be out frolicking.
Listen, the reason why we are breaking up with you mentally, right, is because of the shit you guys are doing, right? Or not doing.
That's important. That's important. And we'll get back to that. I still want to get back. We want to stay on motherhood.
Yes.
So were there any negative aspects of becoming a mother? Other than the struggle, because I know,
I think in my situation, right, because I was single, and a mom, it was a lot of guilt.
Okay.
You know, I had my son at 5 years old was asking me, why doesn't daddy love me? Right?
That hurt.
I would go to the bathroom and just cry because how do you, and I'm like, of course daddy loves you, like I didn't know what to say. I would just, and I think that what I did with him was I tried to fill that void, right? Like that missing dad void with either buying him stuff or spoiling him, right? Like all that stuff. So I think that's a negative, right? Like my son is a great son, right? But he like lacks responsibility. Why? Because I did everything for him.
Right.
Because I felt like that was my way of making up for him not having his dad around.
Right. But that guilt that you put on yourself was a little unjust Because if your son is asking you, why does daddy not love me? That's daddy's fault for not making sure that he knows whether I'm in the house or not. I love you and I got you.
Right, but how do you tell a 5-year-old that?
No,
You
you,
know,
you
you
don't.
can't.
But
So
you were beating yourself up
Yeah.
for it.
because that's the choice that I made, right? I chose this guy to be the father of my son.
That and part of me, if my stomach is picking up on the mic, is mad early and I haven't eaten and I don't eat this early and I'm on a diet and the summer body's coming and single moms, holla at your boy. Yes, I'm hungry, guys. I'm sorry.
I'll bring you breakfast next time.
Please. Mothers, all right, so that guilt you felt because your son was asking you a very specific question that you could never make right. You know what I'm saying? Because his father had to love him, bro. And I don't know your son's father, and I'm not gonna knock him, but if ever a child asks, why doesn't this parent love me? That blame and guilt should be on that specific parent who's not letting them know that they love them. How about mothers that feel guilt just for living? Like, have you ever felt that guilt? Like if you're gonna go out and have fun, or you're going away for the weekend, and you're going alone. You're not bringing the kids. You got to do girl time, or you got to do Mr. Nasty time, whatever. Do you feel sometimes guilt just for living?
I think at some point I did. I think probably the past couple of years, I've made sure that I prioritize myself. And the reason why is because I realize that when I put myself first, not that I'm putting my kids second or anything, right? But when I put like either exercising, whatever it is that makes me feel good, going out, going on a vacation, when I put myself first, I'm a better mom. Right? So then the time that I am with them, I'm in the moment.
Right.
Right? I'm not worried about what's going on over there because guess what? I just came back from vacation. Now I'm in my, I don't know.
So
and then when I relieve stress, right? When I go to the gym, I relieve stress. So I will miss a baseball practice to go to the gym. And some people might look down on that, right? Some people might be like, and it's hard as a single mom, right? It's either like we get criticized for either being involved too much or not being involved enough, right? You got to find that balance of what works for you. I can't tell anybody, for me, I feel like I'll go do my hair, go do my nails, give myself my me time because it makes me a better mom. It makes me a better person.
Right. And would it be feasible to say that if you didn't, you may unknowingly grow resentment for your children for kind of potentially being in the way of these things you want to do?
It possibly could for some people, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I could understand that.
So let's introduce you to the audience real quick. Miss Leslie, age undisclosed. Mother of two.
Mother of two.
Career woman.
Yes.
Gym rat.
Yes.
Any other hobbies we need to know about?
Not hobbies, but I do have, Latinas Empowering Society.
Important. Let's talk about that.
Nonprofit, where it'll be coming soon. I'll give more information, once it's back up. I also do have a lash company, which is called Empowered Latina Lashes. If you can tell, I'm all about empowering Latinas.
Shout out to that. Shout out to the Latinas. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then here, with you now.
Dope. And you had a podcast previously. That's where I saw you.
Yes.
So shout out to that. Shout out to them.
Those ladies are amazing.
And you're here to represent the mature but still in development woman, right? Because we're all still in development. None of us has reached our peak form, nor perfection, nor will we ever, right? We're still here to learn, and I plan to learn from you women's perspectives, because in maturing, sometimes you don't look at things from the other perspective, right? So in dealing with single mothers or single fathers, you may not see the struggle that they're going through at the moment, or the struggle that they've been through to even get to where they are now. Someone might be struggling today and someone might judge them on that struggle, not knowing, yo, they just stepped it up 10 levels from where they was from. They was really struggling. Now they on the come up, and you still kind of shitting on them. And I may be guilty of such actions.
You're gonna be guilty of a lot of things.
Yes. So to introduce myself, I'm a father first and foremost, right? Shout out to my daughter, my beautiful daughter. I'm an author. I'm a podcaster. I've done music. I'm a therapy student, right? Like I go to therapy, not that I give therapy, although I give therapy.
You give?
Yeah,
advice?
I give advice, of course. It may not be good advice, but I give advice. No, a lot of my advice more so be like for the fellas to not be scared of things such as therapy.
Yeah.
Or don't be scared to open up, or don't be scared to talk to your lady about whatever, you know. Is that something's ringing? But a lot of fellas don't even want to hear that shit, so whatever.
I think everybody needs therapy.
I agree. I believe everybody should attend therapy. And I think I told you, I also think everybody should go to boot camp. Once you turn 18, there are other countries in the world that once you turn 18, they make you go to boot camp. I think America should adopt that policy. I was in the Army, and boot camp, I went to the Army at 17. My parents had a sign, so I was literally still a kid. And there's a level of responsibility and discipline that is learned in boot camp. Physical and mental, nothing emotional is learned in boot camp. That's all toughen up and don't be a bitch shit. Back then, at least, when I went in the 90s, who knows? Today is probably soft and you can Snapchat from the damn boot camp. I don't know. But back then it was difficult. But I think everybody should go through that to attain that level of discipline, and also just test your toughness, and you know, get some struggle in there, get some like that you have to give effort, you know what I mean? And then get some therapy afterwards, because you'll need it for the trauma caused by boot camp and for any trauma that led to you being there before. So I'm here to talk for the dudes. Miss Les is here to talk for the ladies. And we're going to say a lot of right shit, and we're going to say a lot of wrong shit, and we're going to correct each other. And hopefully I won't get punched in the face. If I do, we're going to edit that out, because come on, guys, you know, ninjas can't get
I work
struck.
out now, you know, so.
I didn't even want to look at the muscle, if y'all noticed, because I don't want to get shook. But no, I'm very, I admire your consistency and dedication to the gym very much. I wish I could have that consistency and dedication for the gym.
I didn't always have that. I will shout out, I'm not going to say the name, but the last person that I dated, his discipline is what motivated me. He didn't even have to tell me, like, you know, work out. Just
Did he tell you?
No, he didn't. He didn't. But just seeing him, you know,
Did he ever,
how,
like, smack you on the ass and be like, hey?
No.
It's a little jiggly.
No, not at all. But when I did start going, right, he kept me motivated, right? Like, he'll buy me cute little gym outfits, right? Things that I was like, okay. And then it just becomes, you know.
Smart dude. What'd you do to him that he left?
I didn't do anything.
I'm just playing.
I didn't do anything.
Nah. We'll get into more relationship errors throughout other episodes. This first episode was actually supposed to be about dick pics, but I was outvoted. I wanted to come in and bring my award for best dick pics of 2019, but I got outvoted. So, and it's also Mother's Day, so we want to talk about motherhood, right? So going back to dating as a single mom, you said earlier that now you know that when you begin dating someone, there are conversations that need to be had to ensure that you guys are on the same page.
Correct.
But you said, now I know. So there was a time that you didn't know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, just like anybody, whether you have kids or not, right? There's conversations that should be had within your first or second date to even know, should I continue to, you know, engage or not even waste my time, not waste each other's time.
Right.
Like now I'll go on a date for, I have kids. I no longer want any more kids.
Uh-huh.
I love being a mom, but I don't. I feel like now my kids are grown. One of them is in college. The other one's, going to be 11. It's my time.
Do you think if you met the right dude that your mind could change?
No.
Not at all.
No. If the person that if we're having a date and I tell you I don't want any more kids and you're like and I ask you, right? Do you want more children? And they're like, right there? No.
But what if he says, no, I don't want any more children either, but then y'all together for a couple years and
But that's when we have to really truly be honest with ourselves, right? Like, do you really not want kids or are you just saying that because I said that? Because then down the road, don't come resenting me because I don't want children.
there's nothing
Right?
that
Like,
could ever possibly change your mind?
No, I always say I always joke around with at work and I'm like, if I walk in crying, hysterical, somebody knocked me up. Because I love being a mom, but I feel like all my life that's what I've done.
True.
Right?
True.
So
Because you had your
yeah.
first child at 19, right? Let me wow. So I have a different outlook, right? And mine's is because of not raising my daughter, right? So I front as if I don't like children, and I'm very much FTK, fuck them kids. But I like children. Like I have mad fun with children. I like bugging out with them, whatever. Just they bring out a childlike quality in me that I enjoy. But I don't think I could ever have another child because I would then raise that child and be with that child like every day. And I think that would be unfair to my daughter because I didn't raise her and I wasn't with her every day.
Right, but I think your daughter's also old enough.
Oh, no, I asked
to
her.
look-
She was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. She was like, yeah, fuck out of here. You can't. No. You're not going to raise the next one. And I wasn't. Yeah. So even if I wanted to, I don't think I could.
So if you met someone, right, that you're feeling and you guys have been talking and you go on a date and you have these conversations and she's like, yeah, I want kids.
I would actually have to speak to my daughter.
And if your daughter said no?
Then I wouldn't do it.
Wow.
I'm very against hurting people on purpose.
And I understand that and I understand that it's your daughter, but I'm also very big on you have to be happy. It's your happiness. Your happiness should be a priority.
Yeah, but if I was to hurt her, I wouldn't be happy.
But I think that's just her coming from a selfish place, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, she's still young,
Yeah.
right? She's older, but she's still young. So I think over time, right, she's going to realize things and that answer might be different.
But within me, I think I would still feel guilt. So I think unless, and now here's where the dynamic changes, unless if I can put my master plan into effect, the one I told you about.
Oh,
So
Lord.
I have this
Here we
plan
go.
to hit like the lotto or get rich, right? And have millions and billions of dollars. Then I'm gonna go to every country and I'm gonna make a baby. And I'm gonna send them babies to the best schools and they're all gonna be politicians. And then they're all gonna grow up to be the presidents of their country and they're gonna be my kids. So in essence, I'm gonna really rule the world. And then boom, we in there.
I mean, listen, I told you, I kind of like that idea.
It's gonna work. I just gotta get the billions first,
Step
and then start laying seed out there in the world. But back to single moms. You said back to dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dating dudes. So now, do you date men with children, or are you still dating men without children exclusively? Do you still
No,
put these boxes up?
I mean, I think there's a lot more guys with children, right? Just
I think there's a lot more people, period, with,
Right,
children.
with
I think it's
children.
very hard to find someone that doesn't have
So
children.
no, I do date guys with children. And actually, because I don't want kids, it's harder for me to date guys that don't have kids
Because they'll want them
they're gonna
eventually.
want kids, right? And I think as I get older, I don't know why I attract younger guys now. I've always dated older guys. Now that I'm older, right, I attract younger guys and
Younger than you or younger, period?
younger than me. Like,
But are they like young?
I mean, if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, for me, for a guy, that's young.
Right.
that's young, right? And I'm like, I don't
Late
wanna waste my
20s, early
time,
30s.
right? Like I've been
But they're not
even
that
even if
young.
I meet somebody that's, let's say, 35, right? I'm gonna be 39. Let's say I meet somebody that's 35, but they don't have kids, they've never been married. I feel like even though our age in number is not that far, the experience when it comes to that is different. Like I've been married, I've been divorced, I've had kids, like, so I just feel like there's a level that we just can never connect.
But you can mold them.
I don't want to be a mom. I'm done having kids.
All right, so to go back to something you said earlier, now that you date men with children, how many occurrences of baby mama drama have you had to deal with? Without getting specific and incriminating yourself in case you done beat some ass.
No. Listen, but that's what I said. Like the baby mama drama is not directed towards me, but their issues pours into what I'm trying to build with
Have
the
you,
person. Yes, the person that I just recently stopped dating.
The gym dude.
Yeah, and that is the reason why one of the reasons why we stopped dating, right? Because you've got issues over there that are affecting us over here by nobody's fault, right? I mean, I think it's
Well, no, it's somebody's
a little
fault.
bit of everybody's fault, except for mine, right?
No, I think it's actually their fault.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever unresolved issues they have, whatever, right? Like I'm to a point like unlove everybody in your past before you come love me.
What if he believes like I believe that love never dies?
Okay, then just leave me alone.
But
I'm not
it's not I think love never dying doesn't have to affect your current relationship.
Yeah, but if the man is able to set clear boundaries. So I will tell you with my ex-husband, right? We are great friends, right? There's boundaries there. There's always been boundaries.
Do you still
When
have
I
love
dated,
for him?
Of course, that's
Exactly.
am I in love with him?
No, there's a
Absolutely
big
not.
difference.
But that's I mean, I wouldn't expect somebody not to. That's the parent of your child, right?
Right.
At one point, that was somebody important to you. So I'm not saying unlove them in that aspect. I'm
Right.
saying like
Don't be in love.
those romantic relationships, like let that shit go. Set those clear boundaries, right? Before wasting my time.
No, that I totally agree with.
Because in the end, right, it's me that gets hurt.
Well, depending on the action that he takes, right? Because if his baby mom is bugging and you tell him, yo, she bugging and it's fucking us up, and then he goes and fixes it.
Right, that's different.
Then
but obviously then
you're good to go.
Then we would still be together, right?
So I want to say bad things, but I don't want to shit on nobody.
Listen, it's not shitting on anybody. It's sharing, right?
So my man should have held it down and told Shorty relax and not let it affect you.
Right. I think the reason that can't happen is because, and I've told him this directly, you're still in love with her. In one way or another, there's still some type of romantic
that's
feelings
there,
there, right?
So why was he with you?
I don't know, why were you with me?
Hit us in the comments. Let us know. Matter of fact, come up to the show. I got questions for you.
And I'm all for it. Like, listen, if you love someone, go work that out.
But all love can't be worked out, bro. Just because two people are in love doesn't mean they're meant to be together.
I get it, but if you're doing the back and forth, right? Like,
oh no, he was wrong. He shouldn't have got
toxic.
involved with you if there was still back and forth or any unresolved feelings or just anything still active with her. So that was his first mistake, and not to shit on my man because I've made 1,000,001 mistakes in life.
I'm not shitting on him either. Listen, we are still friends. I think he's an amazing guy. I have nothing but love for him. And I know he cares about me as well, right? But it's just like we're just doing more damage to each other. Like go fix your shit, right? And hey, maybe that'll work out. And by all means, that's just the way it was supposed to happen. Or you'll realize shit, and maybe down the road, right, we can cross paths again. And if we don't, then it just wasn't meant to be.
Timing is very important when it comes to love and relationships, and we'll get into that on future episodes. But there's
dating in general as a single mom is tough, though.
Dating period is tough, especially in
Yes.
2023,
Yes.
right? So the whole
Yes.
landscape of dating has changed. I can imagine it being even tougher for a single mom. Do you think if a guy asks you on a date, he got to pay for the babysitter?
You know, I heard something the other
Because I
day.
saw this on social media, and I was like, that's crazy.
I
I wouldn't go on a date.
I wouldn't either. Like, I wouldn't come on my face and be like, pay for the babysitter.
Yeah. That's a
Nah,
little crazy.
I wouldn't.
'Cause
But I think there's a lot of things that come with dating, right? Especially as a single mom, is like introducing your kids to the person that you're dating.
how do you know when it's the right time to introduce your? How do you know when the person you're dating has taken off the mask and left the representative at home and is now actually there?
I don't know
If you ever know.
if I don't know if there's a way to really know. I think you're always taking a risk, right?
No, you're definitely always taking a risk.
You know, I think when you decide when you're going to involve your kids, it's a conversation that I think both parties need to agree on, right? It can't just be like, oh, I want you to meet my kids, or you saying, hey, I want to meet your kids.
Yeah. It's got to be mutual.
I think it has to be a mutual thing. I don't think that there's a specific time frame, right? Whether you think it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, I don't know. But I also don't think that you should wait that long, because that can change the whole dynamic of your relationship, right?
Right, but you can't rush it either.
No, absolutely not. You can't rush
So where's
it.
the balance? It's just got to be like a
It's
feeling,
just gotta
right?
feel right. It's just
What
gotta
if
feel right.
the person you're dating meets your kids and he don't like them?
Oh, get the fuck out.
So I saw a video the other day, and a guy broke up with his girl because he said that her kid was bad. I think what he was trying to say is that her kid lacks discipline, and maybe she lacks the skills to instill such discipline. But, you know, that's me guessing. But what he literally said was like, yo, this little kid is bad. And in the video, as he's leaving, she's like arguing, and she looked like she was bad too. She was like yelling and shit, like, why you leaving? That's why you leaving? You a bitch, some shit. And he's like, yo, this kid is bad. And the kid is doing bad things in the video. I don't remember if he was like shooting at him with a gun or something. Yo, the kid was doing some bad shit that I was like, damn, that little motherfucker do look kind of bad.
I mean, can you blame him?
No, absolutely not. I'm going to assume that your children are not bad.
No, my kids are good
so
kids.
shout out to them. But I just thought that video was so funny. And yo, deep down, I think that's true. I think there are bad children, or no child. Well, no, I think some children are born with evil. Some people just in general have evil within them for whatever reason. But there are children that lack discipline or lack leadership or just don't have certain morals instilled in them.
I think that starts from home, though.
But that's to blame the parent. Yeah, it's not,
like what you see at home, or what you expose your child to.
Yeah, these kids are ratchet nowadays.
Yeah.
They be twerking and drilling.
Thank God I don't have girls. Thank God.
Interesting that you say that.
I am glad that
What
I
would
am
be
a
the
boy
difference
mom.
in raising a girl? You think she'll be like Dottie?
If my daughter turns out to be a hoe.
Well, that's on you. And I'm not trying to call you a hoe. I would never do such a thing. But like you said, if they're learning it at home, right, and what they're seeing, so if you on some hoe shit, your daughter might end up on some hoe shit, but
right.
you
but
carry yourself as a lady.
There's also, right, I think as a parent, you have to know who your kids' friends are.
Correct.
Right? Because you can have a good girl that you raise well at home, but when she's out with her friends are doing certain things, right?
But if you're involved, you'll realize this and hopefully change the
hopefully
friend
it's
group.
not hopefully.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
yes.
hopefully.
Shout out to all the girl dads out there. The majority of my friend group, which is about maybe like 10 of us that we've been together as a friend group since like the 90s, right? The majority of us, I'd say like 7 out of 9, because one of us doesn't have children yet. Like 7 out of 9 of us are girl dads. And then Nas said that the cruelest players and the foulest heartbreakers in the world, God gets us back by giving us precious little girls? Do you believe that? Do you think that
I
men are cursed with daughters to realize
Yeah, like imagine
what they
somebody
done did?
doing the shit that you did to
That's why I try.
your daughter. Like,
That's why I said
yo,
earlier, please
that.
date me now
But
and not me then.
right, and I think to all the girl dads, buy your daughter flowers, take her out, do like dad and daughter dates, right? When
Yeah.
they're young, teach them, that they need to be respected, that they should be treated like princesses,
So do you
right?
do this for the boys?
Do I do what? I go on dates all
Um,
the time with my boys.
right, but you're not you have to teach them how to be the man in the date.
Yep, my kids, they'll open the door for me.
Right.
They'll, I have honest conversations. That part is a little difficult, right? From a mom, right, to teach
Do you have
their
brothers?
boys that. I do have one brother.
Does he participate as a
Yeah, I mean, but they have my dad. They have my
Okay,
dad.
so they have men around them that can give them men lessons as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I think on that part it is a little difficult. But what I always tell, especially my older one now that he's like dating and stuff, is just, treat her the way you would want someone to treat me.
How do you feel about your oldest son dating?
I don't like it.
Are you jealous?
I am. I am jealous. I don't think anybody's good enough, and I'm sorry.
Have you met the girls?
I have. I've met one. She's a very nice girl, and I think I didn't give her the opportunity. Right? Like I would get home, and she'd be like, "Oh my God, you look so pretty." I'm like, "Thank you." Like, or
You
like
gave her the bitch face?
or,
You have a mean bitch
yeah.
face, yo. No
I've
disrespect or
I've been
insult
told that.
intended.
I've been
Yeah.
told that, but I'm not like
And then
that.
but imagine your son is 19, right? So his girlfriend got to be in his age range, 18, 19. And then she sees no disrespect, an older woman, and you're giving her the look, right? And I get it, because you're just coming out of work, you're probably tired, you don't want to deal with the bullshit, and then she comes up all bubbly, hey,
Yeah, and like I had a coat on. I'm like, you haven't even, because she's like, oh, you look so pretty.
but
I
she
have a
trying
coat
to
on.
just show you love.
You don't even see what I'm wearing yet. Like, how do you know I look so pretty?
That's fucked up.
That's the petty side of me. Listen, that boy is my baby. That boy is my.
You bought him condoms?
Yeah, actually, yes, and we had the sex talk.
Okay, good, good,
And I
good.
talked to him. I said, listen, baby, I love that we're at this age, right? Like now, but when I had you when I was young, like that shit wasn't fun. It was hard. It was
Are you ready to be a grandma?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Somebody calling me like Lela, abuela, and I'm not babysitting. I'm not gonna be those grandmothers babysitting.
You lying.
Right now,
Lying.
if my kid right now had a baby, I am not staying home.
You'd be soft like warm butter.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
because
don't-
y'all all talk that talk beforehand. And yo, don't call me to babysit. I gotta live. I'm out here. I'm in the streets, whatever. And then the baby comes and you be like, oh, my little baby, the abuela. And y'all be mad.
I don't know. Listen, you might be right. But hopefully we won't have to find out anytime soon.
Yes, amen to
Because-
that. Amen to that. Young blood, take your time. Keep it in your pants.
Yes.
And if you pull it out, use the Jimmy hat. And to my daughter, I love you. Thank you for saying you don't want any children and you just want to travel the world and enjoy life. And if you a little thotty, it's okay, because I'm a little thotty, so I get it. But relax, be slow. Grandpa Joe don't even sound good. Uncle Joe sounds fly. Grandpa Joe sound like an old farmer ass, cigar smoking ass nigga. No. Save that. Leave them. Please no. What else? As a single mother, I want to know more about y'all and how y'all think, right? And the societal pressures of being a single mother, right? How do you deal with these pressures and what is expected of you? And do you feel you're over expected as a single mother? Like you gotta balance career, home, kids, you gotta cook for them, provide for them. You still gotta maintain a social life. You still gotta, not that you have to, but you probably want to date and you want to go hang out with the girls and do all that stuff. How do you deal with that pressure and that constant goal? Like y'all don't, and fellas, understand this. When you date a single mother, that shit is all true, bro. They got 17,000 things to do and you may not be high on the priority list.
Yeah, it's tough. Now it's gotten a lot easier because my kids are a little
Getting
older.
older, yeah.
And with my younger one, we do have like 50-50. So 1 week he's with me, 1 week. So that week that I don't have him, right, that's where I'm trying to do all my stuff.
Right.
And then when I do have him, it's all about him.
And where's your older son?
Right now?
Yeah, like college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Well, he's back home now, but he does dorm.
Right, because
Right?
college is over or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But prior to, honestly, I don't know how I did it. I have to say, my girlfriends, right? When I had my older one,
Mm-hmm.
I was still in, like, I wanted to go out, I wanted to party, I wanted to go clubbing.
Right.
And so they would take turns babysitting, and some of us would go
Really?
out, and one of them would stay home, right? And so I still did have,
Right.
somewhat of a social life. I can't say that I didn't.
Because you had these friends
I
that were willing to
right.
help.
And I was
And shout
the
out to
only
them.
one, right, that had kids,
Ah.
right? So my son was like the only child. So we did take, kind of turns.
That's cool of them, though.
Yeah, I have a great group of friends.
Shout out to that,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I have a great group of friends.
Shout out to y'all for not shunning her. You know what I'm saying? That would have been foul,
And as far as like career, I would say that I did have to kind of put a little bit of a pause on continuing to move up in my company, because I didn't want to continue to miss out on the everyday things with my kids, right? Like the baseball games, the basketball games, the this, the that, the concerts. And I feel like if I did continue to go up the corporate ladder, that's what was going to happen. I was going to be expected to give more when I'm already trying to figure out how to be at 5 places at once.
Yeah.
So I think now, right, I'm back focused on that, right?
On the career.
And on the career. I'm continuing to build it. I'm not going to say I've been very grateful, thank God, right?
Amen,
That I've been pretty successful, but to continue to grow, now is my time.
Okay. Shout out to that. Congratulations, for sure. And it's commendable to have put the career on hold to raise the children. Because some people might think, like, from a different perspective, someone might say, no, I have to chase the career
Right.
to be able
Right.
to raise the children. And I think that's where the parent provider balance is lost, right? Because you can provide for them, you can have a great career and be the CEO and work 80 hours a week and never be home and buy them everything, and they have the world at their hands,
And they still don't feel
but they
that
don't have a
love.
parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can do what she did is dope, y'all. The balance. Don't do the off balance where you're just giving them love and you're there every day and you walk them to school and
But
you ain't got no
then
damn job. Because shout out to a couple females that I know, and I'm not going to call y'all out, but they have multiple children and they never had a job in their life. And I'm looking at y'all like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, get it together. These kids deserve better. And not saying that their kids are malnourished or mistreated or anything, but kids need to see success to want to achieve success. And if you're not showing them anything, that cycle is just going to repeat. And I'm literally seeing it within my family, that it's just a cycle of, have kids, don't work, and then them kids have kids, don't work, and now you raising the grandkids and none of y'all working, and the grandkids, all they see is everybody chilling, and it's like, we want better for the next generation. We want better for the Latino generation. We want better for our families and stuff. Like, at the end of the day, we still represent all of these things. And I think Latinos especially are often stereotyped as having mad kids, having mad baby moms, mad baby dads,
living off the government.
living off the government. And it's like, damn, we wanna break these stereotypes and
Those generational curses.
And yeah, expand and grow and be better. We're gonna have to come back next Mother's Day to further discuss parenting. I'll come back with my top 10 parenting skills that I can share with y'all. I'm lying. But definitely love your kids, man. I think that's the number one most important rule to being a parent, to being a mom, to being a single mom, a single dad, whatever. Shout out to all the single moms. If you could give advice to a pregnant young lady right now, but only one thing, like, yo, this is the one thing I'm gonna tell you. What would it be?
Oof. As far as like parenting?
As far as you about to have this baby and you got a whole life ahead of you.
Some people might disagree with this, but put yourself first. Put yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first. If you can't take care of anybody else. You can't pour into anybody else if you're not pouring into yourself.
And love yourself.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think that takes us back to where we started the show with, right? Guys, ladies, gentlemen, love yourselves. Learn to love yourselves. Learn to forgive yourselves. None of us is perfect. We've all made mistakes before. We've all loved incorrectly. We're all trying to learn to love correctly. And, help each other out, bro. Go out there and spread love. This is Men Lie, Women Lie, and All Flowers Die, the podcast. We'll be back next week. We're going to come up with a topic. I think we're going to have to skip dick pics because it's going to get too treacherous out there. And then the DMs is going to go crazy. And the request, I don't send no free dick pics, y'all. Y'all got to pay. Y'all got to ante up. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we can monetize it.
Let's go. OnlyFans coming soon. All Flowers Die, Men Lie, Women Lie. I said it backwards. That's okay. We'll get it right next episode. We out. Any parting words?
Just thank you. And hey, we're going live in our next episode, right?
Yes, we're going to go live. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure you're following the page at men_lie_women_lie_podcast. Make sure y'all follow that. Go to my page at money_burns. Go to at les_BAZ. And we'll have the links there. Tune in and we'll be back in a week, in 2 weeks. Something like that. And we out. Peace.